Hello and welcome. This is Diana, and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be a generalized reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. It's been kind of a weird couple of days. And so the reason why I say that is because you very well could also be kind of like feeling just an odd vibe in the collective consciousness, right? Like highs, like waves of low, like, but what they're telling me is like truth is coming out. And like it's like a release of this like feeding into like these false stacked blocks, right? Like that's not a pyramid. That's a bunch of blocks like all over the place. And they're essentially like falling like one by one, right? And it's going to be like this kind of a synchronicity, like to where there's going to be this identification of like the North Star of like the pathway to like your highest potential, right? And that is a stacked pyramid, right? It's literally like the emperor is going to, they said, come in with everything. um and it could quite look like rubble, it could quite look like unsure, but it's actually going to end up being like the exact offer that you need, right? And it's going to look like you have a multitude of pathways. But again, he's coming in like serious, like whatever it's the energy, right? Like the energy is going to be stinking potent. And like there's not gonna be it's almost like he's not playing. He's coming in for business. He's coming in mm, with intent is what they said. Um And that can very well be like an unsureness or an uneasiness or like something that you're not quite used to. Um it's literally like there's not going to be any doubt that this energy is coming in because they're essentially reviewing like everything that's come up to this point. It's like a reflection point essentially, and they're reiterating it's like as above so below. It's like, whew, pardon me, I'm running energy, so when I run energy I will exhale because it's like it's shifting the energetic frequency. So if you end up finding yourself yawning with me or yawning prior to me or before me, like it's you literally shifting your own frequency. And it could quite possibly be like what is being currently enlightened, what is being pushed into the spotlight, right? Like, what is your divine love? Like, where have you felt like you've been in a state of confusion? Could very well have to do because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, right? And so, like, you could quite possibly have felt like you were in a state of struggle or a state of burden, and that things were not aligning the way they needed to, right? Like, there's like a state of compassion or ease or flow or peace, into like the desires of what it is you want as you proceed forward, right? And as you're aligning, I feel like I'm talking to a feminine and this is a story about a masculine. Um, but as you've been like aligning and like recalibrating and looking at yourself or looking at your heart's desires, so is your counterpart, right? Like they're stepping into a divine masculine energy out of toxicity, right? Getting out of bondage. It's kind of like they're showing me somebody who decided to baptize themselves, right? And that's it, and again, that could be a metaphor. It could be that you've done something in your reality that has allowed you to fully release like the old part of the who you were, right? And those blocks collapsed. Um And when they collapse, the temptation of the anchoring of whatever was holding you in place fully released, right? And so maybe you're kind of reflecting on that as we speak, like you're looking at the influences that have brought you up to this point, right? Like the things that were unwelcomed. And you know, it's kind of weird because yesterday, that movie with Matt Damon where him and the girl keep crossing paths. I think it's not Inception. Interstellar? No. Um 1 second, hold please. It is called that's the one. Adjustment Bureau. So I'm going to end up watching it. Maybe that's something that you want to watch. Maybe your love life has been kind of bleak or non-existent, and maybe there's like a course of a reactivation that you've done recently. And as you've like overcome your mourning period, like you're essentially stepping into a state of renewal and abundance. And it's almost like as you pivot away from like whatever you were holding space for, all of a sudden it's like there's an open doorway of energetic frequency that all of a sudden puts you in your divine feminine energy, right? So you guys are essentially matching energetic frequencies in regards to abundance and in regards to like your active, it's like this activation within your forward movement. It's honoring like the where you're at, the where you've been, and the where you're going, right? And for those of you that are isolated, what I keep getting is you finally made the decision to choose you. And through the release of the isolation, however it was, maybe you went celibate for a while, or maybe you chose not to date, or maybe you just reshifted your focus. But whatever that is, there is a change coming, and it's going to create like this fertility in the way that you are pulling in. Yeah, it's that bounce back energy. It's that defying gravity. It's literally you putting something in motion that is it's like ready, aim, fire. And you're doing that like through your own contemplation, like through your understanding. Like it's almost like you're firing at such a sharp relevance, like it's boom, 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 boom. And it's very effective communication styles that are essentially getting you into the state of being, right? And yeah, maybe it has something, yeah, again, very much it's like it's that sexual energy is kind of what I'm feeling. And it's like as you're it and then they're saying Stella got her groove back. As you get your groove back, right? Like whoever you were tied to is feeling you reactivate. Like they can feel your magnetic chemistry. So what they're saying is it's really like as you're proceeding forward, as spring is coming, like you're peeling off those layers, right? And it's through the confidence and the rewriting of whatever agreements you've decided to take on, right? However that is for you. And so you could find yourself like going out of your way to like talk to people, to be more open, to hold space for their own evolution, right? Like through this process, it's kind of like you are becoming a leader, you are becoming magnetized. Yeah, it's literally all roadblocks are completely released. And it's like your Akash is saying, okay, what do you want? We are going to give it to you, right? And so it's like there's this shift in the realization of the alignment of what you want to devote your time to, how you want to clean up your heart energy, how you want to release the obstacles that you've been holding on to, right? Because they're all the lessons. And whatever happened in fall, right? Right at that transition, something happened. Um, September, October. Yeah, it's like in that, yeah, September, October, something happened where you had to release a situation and you kind of had to go back insular and figure out a way to set up your future, right? Like through the, yeah, you had to, it's kind of like you hoped for good fortune, and maybe you wrote this out, maybe you were trying to balance your scales, balance the scales through the process, right? And trying to regain like your peacefulness, like your playfulness, like igniting like a new beginning. And through this attraction or through this activation, like you're literally shifting the what you're pulling to you. And they're just saying it's dead on. So again, you could quite possibly like be kind of creating in the ethers, like your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your highest potentiality for a partner. And like I love it because there's a model that I absolutely love, and he's got tattoos all over, and I just literally keep attracting men with tattoos from head to toe. It's hilarious. And I didn't think, oh yeah, I want one of those guys. I just thought, wow, that's a very handsome man, and that was it. And then like literally the very next week, I've met like four guys with like tattoos from head to toe. And so it's like kind of honoring the what you're thinking out loud, and like shifting your lifestyle is probably part of the process, is like kind of mixing it up, right? So like going from fasting to fruit and vegetables to fasting, back to fruit and vegetables and soup, and then back to regular whole foods. And like it's through these, it's you becoming your own alchemist and stepping into your own divine fortune, right? So once you believe you are winning, like all of a sudden the universe agrees with you and says, yes, in fact, you are winning. If you are having a shitty time and you are ho-humming and like all of this chaos took a while for you to break free from it, right? That put you into a state of powerlessness and confusion. Because you remember, every time you have sex with somebody, you are essentially sinking into that person. You are actively taking on the role of their alchemist, and they're doing it for you. And so if you've done all your internal work, welcome, because that's how you found me. Because the collective is small. Like the fact is what I do and how I do it, and what you are also able to do and shift here is it's a different demographic, right? And it's through like your cycles of like reactivation, like through, getting out in the sun, doing your holotropic breath work, getting into nature and attuning with the animals. It's that reconnection in the identification of what the fruits of your labor are, in fact. And so it's something with a new moon. I think there's a new moon coming up, but there's going to be like a shift in intensity. And I don't know. I know we just got out of a Cancer full moon. I don't know what the new moon is. Um, but it's kind of like they're showing me like the amplification of like the energy that is currently unfolding, right? And you could see 23, 34, 20, 8, 5, 6, 3, 5, 2, 5, 4. I'm going to get a guided an ancestor or ascended master deck. So faith. Yeah, you got to cut cords. If that energy is coming into your field, if you have them thinking of your thoughts or thinking in your field or perpetuating a cycle that like hasn't happened yet, right? Like, or is trying to keep you stuck in waiting. Honor the journey, honor the lesson that you were meant to learn from that individual. And cut the cords, because the sooner you cut the cords, the reverberation happens, right? The big thing is like you are a sovereign being in your own body. Nobody is feeding on your energy to get their financial abundance, to get your gifts, right? And it's you stepping into this benevolence, right? Like it's you stepping into this neutral. It's like a neutral, no nonsense, right? It's you staying calm, you staying aware, you identifying the cycle, you claiming your sovereignty, you kicking the damn thing out. And, it's the courage and bravery that you're going, I feel like I'm almost talking to a cherubim. Um, yeah, that you're kind of getting ready for like this holy divine love, like this focus of intention of like, no, this is what I want. That was my karma. And like there's this like distinct shift in regards to you shifting the energy or you stating that you're no longer like it's a showdown. It's literally you're like it's not happening. And it's like you're looking for your divine aligned partner, right? The person that is the mirror to who you are. You're not accepting anything less, but you're also allowing God to gift you the miracles that you're asking for. And so I would say, like, set the intention, take a nice bath with sea salt, soak for like 20-30 minutes, and then as the stuff runs down the drain, like cut your cords and allow those cords and everything to disattach and go down the drain, right? And in your dream time, in your astral space, like start envisioning like the partner you want. How do you want to feel when you wake up? How do you want to move? Like, what is like the divine healer? Where is the strength and guidance? Like, is this coming from your higher self, or is this coming from something that's a lower vibration that is essentially feeding in your ear, keeping you stuck, right? And you're going to know that because when you are identifying energies outside of you, ask it. Are you 100% light? Do you walk in God's light, right? Any entity in a lower vibration cannot say yes. It is against universal law. The mouth will not, you won't hear it in your ear. It's like the mouth is bound. And so, like, stand strong on what you desire as you proceed forward. Honor where you gave up pieces of you because somebody told you it was a strong foundation, right? When the foundation wasn't strong. And step into your magic is what they just said. It's time for you to understand that you are the vessel of the divine, and you may be looking into sacred geometry tattoos. The decahedron is like one of my favorite, because the energy is just so stinking potent. And I love working with it. And so you very well may start like diving more into like natural occurrences, natural abilities, like what is your highest, um it's like a perspective. It's literally like harmony. It's how you're walking in divine mother father faith. And maybe you're doing it for your kids, like maybe it's you breaking your cycles. Maybe it's, your parents are reactivating and reaffirming like the things where they fell short, right? Like there's some kind of a alignment, a culmination of like you stepping into, mm, it's like almost like a duality. It's like a strength in purpose. It's like, it's literally you honoring your masculine energy, but not having to be in masculine energy. You know what I mean? Like it's there, but you don't have to lead with that sword. It's like you're honoring the holding of the vessel. It's the holding of that paradigm, like whatever is that higher state of consciousness that you've been working on, that you're trying to push forward. They just said it's true love. You're pushing it forward in by springtime. True love will be here. And prosperity, they said. For those of you that have been feeling like your back's up against the wall, or that you're in a showdown, or that like shit's just not dropping for you, we only have 2 more months of the snake, right? So it's really whatever happens in the next 2 months, it's you re-identifying any cords of attachment that you have yet to break free from, and where you are still not trusting that the creator will catch you, right? You got to do action. You got to take movement, right? And be careful, because maybe there are boulders that are falling if you're in the mountains. Like, be aware of that. But it's really you understanding that, like, you are the chalice, you are the vessel, you are the divine conduit. It's like you are stepping into mm, happy coincidences, alignment, seeing 222, seeing 444, seeing 888, right? Like it's like as you're stepping more and more into your divine faith, and you're in line align with the one. Again, they're showing me the reflection of the North Star, and honoring that reflection of the as above, so below. But there's also a ripple time, because not everything is happening instantaneously as it ripples. Sometimes it takes longer for that ripple to reach the person, right? And so sometimes we take longer to work through they just said intimacy problems, our roadblocks, our confidence levels, right? Because we believe it should be one way when in fact it is a completely different way. And so it's through your leisure time, you're gonna start like clearing and cutting your cords. And I would say sit down and write stuff out, whatever is continually coming up in your field, or the thoughts that you've been replaying, or the coulda, woulda, shouldas, or the things in your relationships where they've constantly replayed over and over and over. Like those are all things that you should be readdressing, and then reacclimating in the ascension journey. And don't resist it, right? Because like your ego is going to say, hey, whatever you're looking into is so far out of scope of what you're used to. It's not going to want you to do it. And so continue to keep revisiting, and trust the process, right? You got to lean into the process and allow, like, just keep saying, show me. Like that's the one thing that I found really interesting, because there was a guy talking about, like orbs. And he was saying how when he requests that the orbs show up, that the lady, who I'm assuming is Mother Mary, comes through, or it's Sophia, comes through and shows him those orbs, right? And he can do it on command, in front of everybody. And he's gone all over the world doing this. And they're just saying, if you believe, you can receive. And I don't know what that's in regards to. Only you're going to know that. But identify, like, where do you believe you don't deserve it? Where do you believe that there's roadblocks? Where have you had a inability to be seen, right? Like maybe you were persecuted in a past life. Maybe you died, maybe you were tortured. And so, like, looking at the threads of connection in the lifetime, in the relationship, like what did you not have full scope in that relationship, in that experience? And then honoring the process, right? Where did it take away your confidence? Where did it take away like your majesty? And reattuning and realigning in that allowance, in that process. Because that is They're just showing me it's like from going from powerless to powerful. And it's stepping up, and it's whenever you cut cords, because whoever you're attached cords to are essentially anchoring all of their crap onto you. And remember, it takes 6 months for you to fully dissipate that energy. And so honor the process. Allow yourself to effectively communicate. Mm, and take it one step at a time, because honestly, that's all we can do. We are, regardless if you're an old soul, regardless if you're an indigo or a crystalline, regardless if you are pre-coded or not, if you have intuitive gifts or not, the catch is we are still on this rock for the first time in this body. And very few of us have the ability to keep the veil down and to keep the gifts on. And so as you're reacclimating into this process, be easy with yourself and kind of allow, and I think almost keep reiterating, damn, I'm so lucky. Like, I love doing the whole, oh, I'm going to get something free. I am so lucky that I always get something free. Yesterday, I got 2 coffees for free. And it's like that ease in always expecting miracles and allowing yourself to be fully aligned with a brand new perspective, and just say, you know what, God, show me. I allow you to show me. I'm not missing out. You show me, right? And so like it's that process in picking the proper path, but doing it in a state of not out of angst, not out of anger, not out of reactive. It's pausing in the moment, reflecting, and then communicating accordingly. And always ask, does it belong to this person, or is this something that you've continually like perpetuated and take it onto your own, and it doesn't even belong to you, right? Like, I think that's kind of what's happening. Don't get sharp, don't get reactive, like stay cool, calm, collected, and identify, like, does this serve me? Does this belong to me? Is this outside of me? And then get into it. And I would write it out, and then look at it, right? Like, does it even ring true what you're writing? Like, does it feel like the highest version of you? Right? And if it's a low version of you, like, then ask yourself, like, why are you allowing this entity to continue to be in my space? Right? Call on Archangel Michael, call on Holy Spirit, call on your higher self. Like, ask them to assist you. Maybe some of you have Joan of Arc sitting on your elder council, right? And so work with the deities and the guides that God's given you, because it's going to help you get into a higher state of frequency and alignment. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to leave that there. If something in this resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Let's try to hit, 1,000 subs in the next, I'd say, hopefully in the next month. That's what I'm going to shoot for. Until next time, be well. If you would like a reading or a healing, all the information is below. You just go to my website and everything goes through there. You book your time and you pay through the website. If you do have like those negative attachments that I've brought up, right, where all love hurts, you're explosive, you're angry, you're reactive, like things are not falling into place, like you feel like there's a level of toxicity in the movements, like honor that process. And identify where it's living in your body. And I think it's directly affecting like the way that you are manifesting in this reality. And so when you cut your cords, like honor that process, right? And allow yourself to feel lighter and brighter. And don't resist the process. I think when you resist is when you feel like that blockage, that push and that pull. They just said that's it. It's a showdown. And you don't have to be the last one standing. But you have to be the one that is precise, they just said. It's precise execution. Standing in your truth. That's going to be your key as you proceed forward, but do it in a way that you are kind and gracious and in a state of allowance, right? And then hear yourself, like record yourself and play it back and listen to yourself. How would you feel if you heard you, right? and honor when you fall short, and constantly ask, who is this? What is this? Is this for my highest good? Is this aligned with the creator? And constantly revisiting those cycles.